Welcome to lesson 7 of our summer music violin course. Today we're learning quite a few exciting things, and we're starting to really get into some music. Let's just review a few of the things we talked about in lesson 6. We've taken our hand frame all the way to what I call 5-note scale. We're going to relax our hand at our left side and begin our little baby wave motion, keeping everything as relaxed as possible. Bring your hand up, and then as you rotate your wrist to wave it yourself, you're going to be moving out. And we're going to do this 5-note scale on the A string. So first we set up on the G, and then we tip back, relax back with the elbow to the A string. Make sure 4th finger is in tune with open E. And then play the 5-note scale down, keeping your fingers as close to the string as you can. So that you can go right back down, set your fingers back down again, and do it all over. Then you can just tip to the D string, set your fingers down, and do the D major 5-note scale. Next, we're going to learn how to do some rhythm on the 5-note scale. So you have music for the 5-note scale, and I'm going to give you some rhythms with your bow. So I'll show you with the music just what I mean, but you're going to do things like this. And I'll give you several, but I'm only going to make a recording of a couple of those because I want you to be reading it yourself and learning how to read the rhythm, the notes, and follow along. Speaking of reading the notes, let's go ahead and review a few of the notes that we should know how to read on the staff. So we have learned the treble clef space notes are from bottom to top, F, A, C, E, and then the treble clef line notes are E, G, B, D, F. And hopefully you've been practicing lots of flashcards with those notes so that you can just, say those names just really quick, one after the other. As soon as you see one, just name it off. And mix those flashcards up so that you can get faster and faster at recognizing the new notes. We talked last week about time signatures. The most common that we're going to see most often in the beginning is a 4/4 time signature. This is also known as a common time signature and is sometimes referred to with just a C. Instead of the 4/4, you'll see a C, and that means common time. So when you have 4/4 time signature, the top number tells you how many counts there's going to be in a measure. The bottom number represents what type of note is going to get 1 count or 1 beat. So if you have a 3/4 time signature, there's going to be 3 quarter notes in each measure. If you have a 2/4 time signature, you're going to have 2 quarter notes in each measure. So top number says how many beats, bottom number says what type of note gets a count. So our songs are going to get a lot more exciting now because we're adding 2 more notes to use within the music in our songs. And those notes are your 3rd finger on the A string, which is a D, and your 3rd finger on the and your 3rd finger on the D string, which is a G. So what you're going to find out is that the D is 1 octave higher than open D, and so you can check your intonation by playing both of them together. If you're just a little bit off, off, it's going to sound terrible because it's so close to being right. That's not right. That's not right. This is right. And if you can't really drag them together, that's okay. You can rock back and forth between the two. Until you can see that. And the same on all four strings, this works the same way. So on the D string, third finger is a G, one octave higher than open G. So you can practice those a lot this week. You should already be getting those in tune with your 5-note scale practices, but now we're going to use those in our songs as well as the fourth finger and the open strings. I've made a video of some songs for you, and you can find the link on your screen. So go ahead and click over to that video when you're ready to practice the songs for this lesson. It's time to learn another rhythm note. We've learned quarter notes, half notes, whole notes, eighth notes, and now I'm going to teach you 16th notes. So you may have already guessed it, but a 16th note is half of an eighth note. A 16th note only gets a quarter of a count. So there are 4 16th notes in one quarter note. So I'll mix them together here. So then here's your quarter note. 16th. So if you put them all together, you're going to have quarter, eighth, 16th. So we'll play around with that a little bit, and hopefully you can get used to that. One more thing we want to talk about today is something called a sharp and a flat. These are referred to in music as accidentals. And there's a third one that's called a natural sign. So the sharp is basically a hashtag or a number sign. And the sharp, when you see the sharp placed before the note, it's going to raise that note by 1/2 step. When you see a flat before a note, that's going to lower that note by 1/2 step. So let's just, for example, if this is a C, and we want to make it a sharp, then it would be here. If we have a B, and we want to make that a B flat, it would be here. Now, rather than write these in on every single note across your music, they've come up with something called a key signature. So you'll find the key signature at the beginning of the song, and also on every single line. So I mentioned last week that the time signature is only going to be on the first line of music, but the key signature is actually on every line. So if you forget what key you're playing in halfway through the song, you can just glance back to the beginning of that line instead of having to go all the way back to the beginning of the piece and lose your place. So a key signature tells us basically like the last name of a piece of music. The favorite key signature for violinists is D major, and that has 2 sharps. And we'll talk about that more as we go along, but you'll start noticing in your songs I'm going to start adding that key signature of 2 sharps, and that means you're going to have F sharp and C sharp unless you see a natural sign. And a natural sign in front of a note cancels out the key signature or a sharp that was just placed on it and makes it go back to its regular form. I hope you're really enjoying the songs that I'm giving you and practicing a lot each day. I'd love to hear what you're doing. If I've gone too fast for you, if this is too fast paced or whatever, go ahead and comment, let me know. And let me know if there's a specific song or tune that you would like to try to play, a duet part for, or whatever. I like to work with music that my students are trying or would like to learn. That's all we have for today's lesson. So happy practicing, and be sure to get in touch and let me know how things are going. We'll see you next week with Lesson 8.